Welcome back to From the Source podcast. This is episode 43, and today we're going to be talking about why you should train like a hybrid athlete. So, if you're on social media, if you are into fitness, you'll have heard the term hybrid athlete. We've talked about it quite a few times as we probably train like this anyway. But we're going to be explaining why you should probably do that too. It's probably a very beneficial way to train, and we're going to go into it. We're going to talk about maybe the pros and cons of it, but probably more of the pros, because it's the way we train, it's the way we like to train, and it's the way a lot of people are training in the world at the minute. So let's start with what is a hybrid athlete. So if you were going to define it, what would you say?
It's just a mixed bag of someone being able to do everything, be fit enough to run, be strong enough to lift, bit of gymnastics like chucked in there. That's not like being able to do like handstand walks and stuff, just being able mobile to do like, I don't know,
Flexible.
yeah, like I was thinking like not muscle ups or anything, just like butterfly pull-ups maybe, or just like pull-ups, and just all of that all rounded in a way. I look at a hybrid athlete to just be, if next week someone said, "Oh, do you want to go out and cycle?" I could just do it. Not because I'm a big cyclist, just the cardiovascular to do that. I'd be strong enough to do it, basically. Or you want to lift some weights. Might not be able to lift like the same as like bodybuilders and stuff, but you could give it a good go.
Yeah.
You'd be like, middle ground, probably a bit better than most people. Not people that do it full time.
Hybrid athletes like functional, so you can do most things in the world, but it's hybrid is like, obviously the main two factors are lifting and running, I think. And yeah, you can add in like cycling and swimming and gymnastics and stuff like that, and that's probably what makes you like a functional, like hybrid athlete. But I was just thinking then when you was explaining it, it's basically like a CrossFit athlete, but more of the running, I'd say. More of the cardio. I mean, not cardio, CrossFit, a lot of cardio. It's more of the running.
Yeah, I think I look at some hybrid athletes and I think a hybrid athlete is kind of just, you look like a bodybuilder, but you can run like a 10K
Yeah. And you can run
fast.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of that. Like instantly I think of some hybrid athlete, right? You're thinking just Nick Bare straight out the gate. He's built like a bodybuilder. He's like 6'2". He's massive, but he can run like 5-minute miles.
Yeah. And usually if you're a good runner and you're a fast runner, you are predominantly skinnier, leaner, less muscle mass, less weight. Whereas when you look at a hybrid athlete now, you look at them and you think, wow, like muscly, good physique, looks strong, lifts strong, but you're also running like a 40-minute 10K.
Cause
Decent.
if you were to look at Nick Bare for the first time, you'd be like, no way you can run that quick.
Yeah.
I think as a hybrid athlete, I think you come to terms with the fact that you want to be big, you want to be strong, but you also want to be able to run. So you've had the mental strength to like push past that barrier where you were heavy like a bodybuilder to get quick enough to be a runner.
Yeah.
It's hard because when you're heavy and like lifting and stuff, it is hard to motivate yourself to running, because I think lifting weights is a lot easier than doing like running intervals. So you've had to push yourself more to keep that size. Like Nick Bare's, he must have done a lot of painful workouts to be able to do all the stuff he does.
You've got to end up doing double days, double training sessions, like run in the morning, lift at night, or lift in the morning, run at night. Because when you run, I mean, we're going to go into it in a minute about some myths about hybrid training, but when you run, you burn a lot of calories and you don't put on much muscle. Like, you're not, apart from your legs working, the rest of your body is not building muscle, let's say. But when you're training in the gym, like, you're building muscle. And I think with hybrid, it's like, well, I want to do both. I want to run and burn all them calories, but I also want to put on mass and like keep my strength up. So let's say hybrid is like, all right, you're lifting heavy and you're running far and fast, and you can do both, then why should people do that? Like, we like doing that. Why should people train like that?
I mean, for one, I think it's just good just to have a good general all game, I think. Just being able to just do, like, so say if you were just really strong, you could just like, you could lift a fridge, you could lift, that's functional. But like, you couldn't, I always look at it like, if your house is on fire, or you need to run away from someone who's trying to rob you, could you do it? As a bodybuilder, you probably couldn't. You could last like,
Your house is on fire and you're like, I'm just going to do a 10K.
yeah. But you could, like, if you're getting chased through town or something, you'd last like 200 meters and you'd blow out.
Yeah.
Like, I know if someone was running after me, I could run at the same pace for 10K.
Yeah.
And they're not running after me for 10K.
Yeah.
So
It's also good for your body, like your heart and your mind and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good for your physical health and your mental health as well. But going to the gym and like lifting weights feels good, and running feels good when, maybe not all the time, but when you've done it or you've achieved it, you feel good. And I think you don't want to miss out on one. You know, going to the gym and pumping like weights and stuff, you feel good, especially as a man. Like, you feel strong.
yeah, you can only talk from a man's perspective.
Yeah. And then when you run and you're just running, like, you feel really good, more so mentally, I think. You don't want to miss out on one of them too. So you want to do both. And then, like you said, being functionally fit, like being able to lift a fridge because you move in house and you need to, is great. And being able to run if you ever needed to. Like, I'm just thinking, imagine your car broke down, you're going to be late for work, but you had an important meeting and you needed to get there. Like, you need to run.
Yeah. I was also thinking, like, even just walking up the stairs, you're not out of breath.
Yeah.
Like, you're a big bodybuilder, like, chugging yourself up the stairs, you're going to be out of breath when you get to the top.
And yeah, exactly. It's like you do extra things for not like an average life. But when you're an old person and you'll have run like, you know, marathons and 10Ks and half marathons and stuff like that, when you're older, it'll come back in your favour, because getting up the stairs is not a big task when you've bloody run 6 marathons in your life, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I put down for what 3 reasons why you should train like a hybrid athlete. So injury prevention, which seems weird when you talk about, I'm lifting weights, I'm also running and all that lot. It's going to make me more injured, but it actually, you get little niggles, but your body's actually, your muscles, especially around like your knees and your hips, are so strong. The ligaments are strong with it. Like, I rarely roll an ankle or anything. It's just more like being an idiot that you end up rolling ankles. So you prevent injuries, good for like mental health, like you said. You're getting out, you're going to gym classes, you're meeting people, you're going running, which is good for just blowing off steam, even if you're on your own. And then just one I put down, which probably everyone would want to do, is just general body composition. So you just look not like super muscular or 6-pack and stuff, but you just look better.
Yeah, you look leaner.
Yeah. Even if you like, you know, you look at some of the like CrossFit athletes you see, like some of them aren't like super ripped. They're like undefined, but they're lean. Like, there's not a lot on them.
It's also more of a natural body type, I think, like an athletic figure. So you look at a hybrid athlete and you look at them and you think like, that's like an achievable body type, but you look good.
Yeah.
Whereas when you see a big bodybuilder or you see a really skinny like runner, neither of those two things look like, I don't want to be that big and I don't want to be that skinny, but if I meet them in the middle and merge them, you end up with the hybrid body.
Yeah.
You know, and you feel good for having that hybrid body as well. I'm just thinking about when you feel lighter and you feel more flexible and you feel like looser, you don't get that when you're a big bodybuilder, and you don't get that when you're a skinny kind of runner.
No, it's very rare that you get a really flexible bodybuilder that's massive. It's like freaky if they're flexible, because they're all just, it's just built for size. Like, muscles are merged on top of other muscles and stuff. And
yeah, you've got like traps on traps on traps.
Yeah. And if you're like a skinny running athlete, you just, your aim is to just be quick and light, so you're just skin and bone.
It's weird, isn't it? Because some people want that and that. They don't want the hybrid. So like someone would want, like I'm just thinking, do you remember people used to train their neck?
Yeah.
Like not for functional like movement, but for like a big massive neck, like Brock Lesnar. And then they'd have a massive neck, but I'm thinking like functionally, like if my neck was huge, I wouldn't be able to like look at you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You better look down.
You need to be like loose, I think.
Yeah.
But some people want to be like jacked.
But then it depends on like some of this depends on people's lives and stuff. So say if you're a bouncer, you want to be as big as possible, as intimidating as possible. So you want the Brock Lesnar neck and the,
Yeah, you do.
you know, the 40-inch biceps and stuff like that.
And then it's funny because you want that for appearance. But then if someone was like, let's say you're like really good at jiu-jitsu, but you were smaller than the bodybuilder, but you know jiu-jitsu, like you're an insane jiu-jitsu athlete, you would literally floor the bodybuilder, you know, without a doubt.
I watched a podcast episode, right, of what's he called, Bradley Martin.
Oh yeah, the massive guy, yeah.
And I can't remember the name of his podcast, and he was on there, obviously on his own podcast, and he had Nate Diaz on, who was a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And Bradley Martin said to him, like, I'd beat you up in a street fight. Like,
Did
Bradley
he say
Martin
that to
was
Nate
like,
Diaz?
yeah,
Nate
he's
Diaz
like,
was like,
he's like,
fuck you.
you know, but he's like nothing on him. Nate Diaz, if you ever Googled him, has got like, his body composition is just weird. He's not built like anything. He's just like all arms
He's a
and
bit
stuff.
skinny fat.
Yeah,
to be
he's
honest, isn't he?
skinny fat, yeah.
Don't-
Just smokes weed and stuff. And Bradley Martin said, I'd take you in a street fight. And Nate Diaz was like, you'll have no chance.
Yeah.
But Bradley Martin was sat there massive thinking, I'll just grab you. And Nate Diaz was like, you have to grab me first to beat me, and I won't let you beat me. And he'd just basically just jump on his back and choke him out.
Yeah.
But because you're massive and you'd have no ability to turn around.
You're slower.
Yeah, it's like,
You can't turn as fast. Like your reactions are slower because you're so big. Like there's more of you to turn.
yeah, you're like a boat. So it's not all as it seems to be, I think, being like massive. I think the hybrid is like, it seems to be the way. It seems to be, obviously you Google it or social media, it's everywhere. But if you actually think logically about it, it is the best way to go about things.
Yeah, it's like being an all-rounder. Would you rather be this or a combination of both? Most of the time, a combination of both is better.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you was a kid on holiday and they'd have them like drink dispenser machines, and as a kid, you'd fill up your cup with all of them.
Don't commit to being like just one thing, because you go down that road of being a bodybuilder for 15 years, it'll be really hard to turn that off and then say, I want to be a hybrid athlete.
Yeah, because you've not built an engine or a system where you can do that endurance cardio side of things.
Because you look at, just briefly before we move on, like the High Rocks stuff, when we go down to see High Rocks, it's like people at High Rocks, you see those massive lads, and like we were in one in our heat, they were like those huge bodybuilders who were massive. They were ripping the ski and everything. Two runs in, blowing out their arse because they've just said, oh, I'll do a High Rocks because I'll be able to do it because I'm just big and strong.
Yeah, because I'll blast all the machine.
Yeah.
And you can, and it works in your favour, but it's better to be like more consistent throughout than like up and down, up and down, up and down. And these big lads, you know, doing High Rocks, like they've not got the cardio element. They've not got the heart.
They've never trained cardio.
You know?
You look at bodybuilders, their cardio is 20 minutes on a treadmill, walking uphill before they start their lifting weights.
Yeah,
that's no cardio.
I know, and from a what's it called, like from a physical appearance side of things, they look good, but from an actual health perspective, it's not good
like
for
inside.
It's not good for your body.
Inside, it's not healthy.
If your heart rate's like sky high and you're literally walking on a treadmill, if your cardio is walking on a treadmill, and that's it, I mean, your heart's fucked.
Yeah,
because you need your heart rate to be like up and then down.
Yeah,
you know, we always train like, let's get our heart rate up sky high, and then let's rest for a minute, bring our heart rate down and go again.
And I think that's some form of measurement of fitness is I can take my heart rate to 190 and within 30 seconds to a minute, it's back
get it
down to
down.
like 100.
Yeah.
Like, and that's that. Yeah, that's just the way to do it. Not like 160 walking on a treadmill, like begging for it to stop.
Yeah, and then it's still 160 because you're doing bench press and stuff. It's not good. But let's go into the myths of what people think about hybrid and why they maybe don't do it. So one of them is it takes up too much time. I think there's loads of gyms now that do hybrid, high rocks, functional fitness like workouts, and there's this big workout written on a board. Even in like the local gyms near us, like commercial gyms like JD and stuff like that, there'll be the big whiteboard and someone's written on it like, this is the WOD of the day. And it'll be like, you got to do 100 of these, 100 of these, 50 of these, 50 of these, 25 of these, 25 of these. And people will look at that and go, oh, I don't have time to do that. But you do. Like, it doesn't take that long.
Like 30 minutes.
I think sometimes people think like the reps are a lot. Even at high rocks, like most people are doing high rocks in about an hour and 20.
Yeah.
So on average, so an hour and 20 minutes to do like a massive event, it's nothing. But people think it takes up too much time. They think that I've got to go running in the morning. I've got to go strength in the evening. Like, you don't have to do that. When we say that, we're talking about like athletes or people who are really into it. For the average Joe, like, you just need to go and do like a functional fitness workout, not a full day's workout, you know.
I mean, you could do an hour workout a day, half an hour running and half an hour of a high rocks or CrossFit type class at the gym.
Even if you
they would be like top level heart rate still.
Even if you did like a 5K run, and then on every K you do like 20 press ups, that's a hybrid style workout, and you've not used any equipment, and if you've still only it's probably took you like 45 minutes. But it's the element of, you want to be doing some element of strength, like whole body with running, or some cardio. And it doesn't take that long.
I mean, you do it, I was just thinking, do a 5K, and like you said, every 1K, do like 50 jumping lunges. By the time you get to that last set of jumping lunges, your legs could be blown up, and it'll be one hell of a workout.
Yeah, and you'll have done like
you'd have burned a
30
shitload
minutes.
of calories, done like 30 minutes of running, And it doesn't, the whole thing about taking too much time, it's like people used to say about CrossFit, like it takes too much equipment to get out and it's too much of a faff, so I don't want to do it. Like, it's a barbell, plates, and like an erg.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
You could do it in this room. Like,
Yeah.
it's stupid. I think it's just people just read stuff on social media, don't they? This is the problem with myths, and then just everyone believes it, because these next two are just
Go on, you say the next
what
one.
people. So running burns muscle, which is what bodybuilders used to say as to why they used to walk on treadmills, because they don't want to burn any muscle, which is absolute bollocks. Because if you're fueling yourself,
Yeah, and you look at runners' legs, and all you see is muscle.
yeah, they're like horses. They're just lean.
As long as you're eating enough, you don't need to worry about like losing all your muscle. It doesn't work like that. You'll go through your like, what's it called? Like, not your carbs, but it's like you'll go through your glycogen first, and then you'll go to like fat, and then you'll go to muscle. Like, muscle's the last thing you'll
be burning through muscle if you were to like be running across the desert for like a week.
Yeah,
not
'cause you've
not
depleted.
eating. Yeah, and your body finds something, it ends up eating itself. That's why it'd take muscle. So you'd eat all those energy stores first, and that's why those runners are so lean, is because they're burning through all them energy stores, and then they eat after. Before
and it's
the
like
muscle.
We look at runners and we think like, God, they're so skinny, but they need to be skinny. That's why they can run so fast. There's no weight on them. They don't want to be heavy. But a lot of people think when you run, you'll go skinny. You don't. You only go skinny if you're not eating enough.
Yeah.
So if I ran a half marathon every day for a year, I would lose weight because I wouldn't be able to maintain all the calories that I'm burning and eat more than that. So I'd end up losing a lot of weight. But if you was going to just start running and let's say I do like a 20K and then I burn 2,000 calories, I'll make sure that day I eat way more because I've lost way more than normal.
Yeah. But
And then you just balance it out.
But if you were doing, and most of these come down to nutrition, if you're doing a half marathon every day, which is possible to do, by the way, if you had like the right nutrition, but if you didn't have the right nutrition, there's no way, those half marathons near the end would be absolutely horrendous because your body would have zero energy for it. It's just like putting fuel in a car. It's not going to go anywhere if it's got no petrol in it.
Yeah, you need to fuel up.
So,
but it won't. Running doesn't burn muscle.
No.
Nothing burns muscle unless you've not eaten and you've got no glycogen, no fat. It'll turn to muscle next. It doesn't.
And that's,
body doesn't go, oh, he's running, let's burn muscle.
Yeah, turn it on.
Doesn't do that.
And the thing is, when you look at the bodybuilders who are saying that, if they were to run, they would burn more fat and look even leaner, and they probably actually would end up just being a hybrid athlete.
Yeah, they'd look way better. They'd feel way better.
Yeah.
The next one is strength will hinder your running. So
yeah,
people think.
So that's, but the running from burns muscle is a bodybuilding one.
This is the opposite.
This one is the running one.
People think like, I'm not going to do squats because I don't want my legs to be sore and I don't want to get injured for when I run, when actually the opposite's true. If you train legs, you will become better at running because your legs are stronger. You can tolerate more pain. They can tolerate more lactic acid, You're training your legs.
I used to say it to people in terms of when they were like, you look at a marathon runner, everyone's like, would say that they don't lift weights, they just run. Like, they do squat. They don't squat like obscene amounts like bodybuilders and stuff, but they do squat. Like, they do all the stuff of weights, but obviously their main focus is running because they have to have strong legs.
Yeah, I tell you what's mad, when people get injuries and then instead of going to the gym, when runners get injuries like runner's knee, or they get like knee pain or hamstring pain, so then they just don't go to the gym because they think that's going to make it worse, when in actual fact, like, training your legs, training the muscle fibers, like doing single leg squats or hamstring curls or just like, calf raises and stuff, it's going to build up your legs to tolerate more impact on the floor.
I think for more runners, it's more like strength and conditioning you need to do. It's not about like, it's kind of what I've been doing now, but you're getting your body used to just like time under tension rather than just mad weight. There's no point a runner being able to squat 100 kilos. I'm on about like a marathon runner. There's no point. But they need to be physically strong on each leg. And that's the difference. They are still lifting weights, and they're probably a lot stronger than most of us, to be honest.
Yeah, because they've built up a big foundation of like leg strength. But that's the thing about why hybrid's so good. So you can have that leg strength, but you need strength in the rest of your body. Like you need core strength. You need like just upper body strength, just being strong. But training in the gym doesn't hinder your running. It adds to it if you train right.
Yeah.
If you go and run a marathon and then you go to the gym like the next day and you're trying to squat like 140 kg, that's not going to go together.
Yeah, that's just stupidity.
But you can train in a certain way. But yeah, I mean, we've touched on it. The problem with bodybuilding only and running only, if you pick either of them roads, is you'll be great and you might look great, you might feel great at that one thing, but you can't cross over. And you can't, like, if you're a marathon runner, you wouldn't call a marathon runner and say, can you come and help me lift this wardrobe because I need to get it down the stairs. But you also wouldn't ring your bodybuilder friend and be like, do you want to do a 20K today?
And that's the thing, like when you talk about the roads, the further you go down the road, the harder it is to get back down it, like come back or cross over. Because it, yeah, because the bigger you are, the harder things are, or the thinner you are,
the harder it is to get, to get back to that level. But I mean, the main thing for me is, it's for me, like doing training hybrid means that I get to enjoy both aspects of fitness. Running outside with your mates, chatting, running, achieving your running goals, getting your times faster. That's great. Makes you feel amazing. You look good because of it as well. You're lean. But training in the gym, getting stronger, being around people in a room where there's like, you're in a gym or a workout, that feels amazing too. So you can cross them over. And you, in yourself, your body just feels like flexible, strong, fit. Whereas when I used to train like pure bodybuilding type stuff, I didn't feel fit. I just looked strong.
You look fit.
Yeah, you look big is what the word was. All the lads used to be like, you're looking big. Like now, you would rather look fit. Like I want to be fit, I want someone to say, fucking hell, I bet you could run far. You know what I mean? Not, what do you lift?
Yeah. That always used to be the question, wasn't it? Like, what do you bench?
What do you bench? Yeah.
Like that was the be all and end all in terms of the epitome of fitness. Was if you can bench 100+ kilos, you are fit.
Yeah. Whereas now it's like, so that's great, but can you run 10 miles?
But this is the workout. Is like, there's workouts that are literally a 10K time trial into like one rep max deadlift, bench and squat.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, so a marathon runner could do the 10K and smash it and probably lift like 30 kilos.
Yeah, exactly.
And a bodybuilder probably would take 4 days to make it to the end, but then hit like a 200 kilo front squat.
Yeah, exactly. I think most people are training hybrid now, and I've seen lads I went to school with and lads I know on Instagram and stuff, they're all sort of switching to CrossFit style. I think CrossFit's got a lot to probably, hybrid training's got a lot to thank CrossFit for, because CrossFit's always been the hybrid. But now the one thing that CrossFit athletes haven't got, apart from the odd few, is the running capability.
Yeah.
There's a few runners like, who is it that runs like a 17-minute 5K?
Ricky Garrard.
Ricky Garrard.
Yeah.
Some of the CrossFit athletes can, but I mean, hybrid's taken over, I think, and
I think CrossFit's like very complex though, isn't it?
It's more Olympic lifting.
If you're coming into the hybrid world, CrossFit is like a lot of Olympic lifting, like which most people won't have ever snatched before and stuff like that. So it is more complex. I think just generally just being a hybrid athlete, you could do the high rock stuff, you could also do the running stuff, but if you wanted to, you could do most of the CrossFit classes.
Yeah.
Like, like double unders and stuff, which is complex CrossFit stuff, which is gymnastics. So you'd be able to do most of it, which is what I'm trying to get at. Whereas if you were just a runner, I don't think you would have seen a skipping rope.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, let us know if you agree with this or if you disagree. If you're like a big meathead and you think actually bodybuilding's the way, then let us know. And if you are just purely a runner, but you're switching into like the hybrid world, then let us know as well. We want to hear from people and hear their opinions. Obviously, we have our opinions and we talk about what we do. And most of the time, like, we agree with each other. So we're always on one side of opinions. So we want to hear it. If you disagree with us, we want to hear. And if you agree with us, we want to hear too.
This is going out to all the meatheads.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out.
I'm just baiting everyone.
So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See you on the next one.